When the ball is bounced to start a game of footy, you'll see the field broken up into 3 groups of 6. The midfielders are in the centre, half forwards and forwards in attack, and half backs and backs in defence. In the modern game, this structure will evolve as play moves around the ground, but the overall core ideas for each field position remain true. In this video, we'll break down each position at a glance, providing you with a basic understanding of who does what on field. While the men play 6-6-6, note that when watching a professional women's match, you'll see they currently have 2 fewer players on field to make a 5-6-5 setup to help reduce congestion around the ground. While it's convenient to group players by starting lines, as you see here, to understand how players with similar attributes are spread around the field, it can be useful to consider the field in longer vertical lines instead. This is also often how coaches and recruiters will build out their teams to ensure they have the right balance of players. The spine is made up of the full forward, centre half forward, centre half back and full back, plus a ruck and a midfielder. It's the frame that you build the rest of your lineup around, and at any level, it's important to position good players in each of these positions to balance your side across the field. Let's focus on some of the taller players here. The full forward is your designated goal kicker. It's their role to mark the ball inside 50 and make sure it at least spills to the ground for smaller players to pounce on. They're usually the primary source of a team's goals, specialising in leading out of the goal square to the hot spot about 25 metres out. Similar to a full forward, the centre half forward is also a goal kicker, but differs by pushing higher up the ground to link play. They're also relied upon to provide a bailout option down the line for teammates under pressure, and as a result, your centre half forward is usually a strong contested mark. The centre half back traditionally locks down the other team's centre half forward, but in the modern game, they'll also be great at intercepting play and launching attacks. One of their greatest assets is their ability to leave their direct opponent to help their teammates and come over the top of a marking contest. Full-backs are relied upon as the last line of defence and line up against the opposition full forward. They must be great at defending one-on-one and be able to judge when to leave their opponent to help their teammate and when to hold their ground. You're likely to see them spoil with a fist more than a centre half back, taking less risks closer to goal. With the spine in place, attention turns to the midfield, also called the followers. They're players responsible for competing at stoppages such as centre bounces and throw-ins, and they get their name from following the ball around the ground. The ruck is that really tall person who taps the ball to the midfielders. They also provide a good option to kick the ball to around the ground and will often assist the defence in drifting back behind play to take intercept marks. Despite their size, they must be incredibly fit to work up and down the field all game. Some rucks are leaner and more athletic, relying on running and jumping to reach the ball first, while others are heavier builds who rely on their pure size and strength to protect and grapple for a dominant position. Some rucks are also dangerous when resting forward, and can be a difficult matchup for key defenders due to their size. Now for the rest of the midfield. In the modern game, every team will define their own midfield roles differently, but historically, there are 3 titles and nuanced roles that are given to these players. The rover is the player you want to clear the ball. Back in the day, they were typically your smallest, most skillful player. While you won't always tap it to this player, they're generally your best midfielder and the one you want to get the ball to. The ruck rover is traditionally more physical. They roved the ruck tap and tried to pass it on to the rover. Nowadays, it's harder to distinguish as its own position. The centre is more of a reliable, hard-working midfielder, capable of transitioning play, working back and forth through the middle of the ground. Today, any differences between these positions are more instructions-based rather than position-based. Wide players are typically distributed in pairs across the ground. They specialise in creating width, working into open space, and linking play. They're usually excellent kicks and have a strong running capacity. The wings are the two midfielders that start on the edge of the centre square. At stoppages, they maintain width, and in transitional stages of play, they provide a releasing option. As they help link the play from back to front, they must be elite by foot. Defensively, they block the opposition's exit out of their backline and work behind play to shield the defence. Half-forward flanks orchestrate forward play and deliver the ball inside 50. They're not always relied upon as the primary source of goals, but should still hit the scoreboard from time to time. Around the ground, they're strong on a lead and able to find space. Some are more X-factor players, and others are more reliable technicians. The halfback flank is another position that's become really customisable by team and game plan. They can be one of the most attacking roles on the ground, or used to shut down an opposition player. Offensively, they're relied on to start chains of play through their disposal or through run and carry, but defensively must still relocate and beat their opponent. Both the forward and back pockets are two of the most customisable positions on the field. In the forward pocket, you could have an extra tall forward or a resting ruck. Or more commonly, you might have a hybrid forward, an X-factor small forward, or even a pressure-based forward. The back pocket will likely be more reactive to match up on whatever the forwards throw at them. You'll most likely have a player capable of playing a lockdown role on a tall or small opponent, and the other position could be a more dynamic interceptor, similar to a half-back. The interchange, or the bench, has changed a lot over time. Currently, in the men's competition, it's comprised of 4 players you can continuously swap on and off the field at any time, and 1 player who you can use for a one-time substitution, where the player who comes off cannot return to the field. In the women's comp, there are 5 players on the field who can rotate on the bench all match. As for who starts on your bench, generally there will be cover for each area of the field, and possibly some younger players who receive less overall game time. While we haven't explored all the nuances of every position in detail, you should now be ready to watch, play, or even coach a game of footy and understand who's doing what on field. As you watch the AFL, you'll find these positions have become more fluid as teams continue to innovate tactically. So once you're getting the hang of these structures, start to take note of which teams veer further from tradition and who still employs the old school 6-6-6 setup. And be sure to check out the rest of our AFL Explained playlist to learn about some of these positions in more detail.